Do you ever feel like your mind never stops racing? You scroll endlessly through your phone, but feel more anxious than before. You complete tasks throughout the day, yet a deep sense of emptiness lingers. You lie in bed, wondering why, even with all the information and opportunity in the world, you still feel lost. You're not alone, and you're not broken. You're just disconnected from your mind, from your values. Reflection. But Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome and one of history's wisest thinkers, knew that the greatest battle is not external. He faced war, plague, betrayal, and death. Each morning and night, he returned to one simple habit that anchored him through the storm: writing, not to show others, not to be remembered, but to understand himself. His private writings became known as Meditations, one of the most profound works of wisdom ever written. To him, it was just a journal, a mirror to see his mind, a tool to grow, to reflect, to return to what truly matters. In this video, we'll explore how the daily practice of Stoic journaling shaped Marcus Aurelius and how it can help you find calm, clarity, and strength in your own life today. Let's begin. Number 1. Write to understand yourself, not to impress others. In today's hyper-connected world, most of our writing is meant for public display. Social media captions, emails, and text messages are all designed to be read, judged, and often praised. But the Stoic journal is not for show. It's for myself. Marcus Aurelius never wrote his thoughts to inspire an audience. He wrote them to inspect himself. He wrote to identify flaws in his reasoning, weaknesses in his character, and confusion in his emotions. When you write without an audience in mind, you unlock a deeper layer of honesty. There is no need to sound wise, no pressure to be perfect. You can be raw, contradictory, even confused. That freedom creates space for self-awareness. Through writing, Marcus sharpened his moral compass. You can do the same the moment you stop writing. To be seen is the moment you start seeing yourself. Begin by setting aside 5 minutes a day. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Or what truth am I avoiding? Let your journal be a space for clarity, not curation. Over time, you'll discover that the person worth impressing is not online. It's the one reading these pages tomorrow. You. Number 2. Begin your day with intention. Mornings are the most fragile part of the day. The tone you set in the first hour often defines how the rest of the day unfolds. Marcus Aurelius knew this, which is why he used his journal each morning to prepare for the day ahead. He would remind himself of what he was likely to face: selfishness, interruption, bad news. But more importantly, he reminded himself who he wanted to be in response to those events. Wake up and immediately jump into reaction mode. We check our phones, see emails or headlines, and fall into stress before even brushing our teeth. But the Stoic way is different. It begins with intention. By writing in the morning, you reclaim the steering wheel of your mind. You decide how you want to live rather than letting the day decide for you. Try this. Each morning, write a short prompt. Today, I will remain calm, or no matter what happens, I will act with happiness. Integrity. These words act like armor. When stress hits, your journal's intention reminds you of your higher purpose. Over time, this habit rewires your brain. You stop reacting blindly and start responding wisely. Number 3. End your day with reflection, not regret. When the day is done, most people turn to distraction. They watch shows, scroll through endless feeds, or escape into noise to avoid thinking. But the Stoic path is to turn inward. Marcus Aurelius would reflect on his actions, thoughts, and emotions. He would ask, did I do what I set out to do? Where did I fall short? What can I improve tomorrow? This reflection is not self-punishment. It's growth. The goal is not to be flawless. It's to be aware, to notice patterns, to build character through awareness. One day at a time. Each night, take 5 to 10 minutes. Write down what you did well today, a moment you were proud of. Then write what you could have handled better. Be honest but kind. You are not judging. You are learning. Then write what you will do tomorrow. This practice turns failure into fuel. Creates closure. You sleep lighter, knowing you have grown. Number 4. Focus on what you can control. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself that he could not control the outside world. He could not stop people from lying, events from unfolding, or time from moving forward. But he could control how he responded. This was the core of his power. In today's world, we are surrounded by chaos, news, opinions, setbacks, and criticism come from all directions. If we try to control all of it, we feel anxious and powerless. But Stoicism teaches us to separate what we can control from what we cannot. Use your journal as a sorting tool. Write about what happened today, then ask, what part of this can I control? Maybe you cannot change someone's behavior, but you can change your expectations. Maybe you cannot fix a mistake, but you can learn from it. This shift changes everything. You stop wasting energy on battles you cannot win. You begin to focus that energy on yourself, your choices, and your mindset, and slowly, your life begins to reflect your values, not your circumstances. Number 5. Capture moments of gratitude and humility. Power did not blind Marcus Aurelius. Despite ruling the Roman Empire, he wrote constantly about his teachers, his family, and the lessons he learned from others. Humble, to be grateful, and to never forget the people who had shaped him. In modern life, it's easy to forget what's going right. We focus on what's missing, what hurts, what we want more of. But Stoic journaling invites us to pause See the good. Gratitude is not weakness. It is a strength. It reminds us that even in hardship, there is beauty. Each day, write down one thing you are grateful for. It could be a conversation, a moment of laughter, or simply the fact that you woke up. Then, write one thing that humbled you. A mistake, a lesson, a moment that reminded you you're still learning. Gratitude and humility work together. One reminds you of abundance. The other keeps your ego in check. Together, they make you wiser, calmer, and more grounded. Number 6. Use writing to calm your emotions. Life is emotional. You will get angry, sad, frustrated, overwhelmed. The Stoics did not deny these emotions, but they also did not let emotions lead them. Marcus Aurelius used his journal to process how he felt, to step back, to see clearly. You can do the same. When you feel overwhelmed, don't bury it. Don't explode. Write. Ask yourself, what am I feeling? What triggered this? What story am I telling myself about it? By writing, you separate yourself from the storm. You observe rather than react. This gives you space, and in that space, wisdom grows. You begin to see the emotion not as a threat, but as a signal. Over time, your journal becomes a place of emotional safety, a space to process without judgment, a space to understand yourself more deeply. And when you understand, you can begin to choose, not just feel, but respond. Number 7. Confront your mortality to inspire urgency. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself that life is short. Death is not a distant concept. It is certain, and it is near. Write about the impermanence of all things, not to feel depressed, but to stay grounded, to live fully. Stop wasting time on things that do not matter. We live in an age that avoids death. We shield ourselves from it and distract ourselves from thinking about it. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. It encourages us to remember our mortality so that we can wake up to life. This practice is called memento mori, meaning, remember you must die. When you write with this awareness, your perspective shifts. You begin to prioritize what truly matters. You forgive faster. You speak more kindly. You take bolder steps toward your dream because you realize how little time you have. Use your journal to ask questions like, if this were my last week, how would I live it? Or, what am I postponing that matters deeply to me? This is not morbid. It's liberating. It reminds you that life is now, not someday, and that urgency gives you courage. Number 8. Reconnect with your purpose. We are surrounded by noise. Advertisements tell us what to want. Social media shapes what we believe is success. It's easy to lose sight of who you are and what you're here to do. Marcus Aurelius used journaling to realign with his principles, strip away distraction, to return to what was essential. Your journal can be the compass that points you back to your purpose. not the one others give you, the one you choose. Loss? Sit down and write. What matters to me? What am I building with my time? What values do I want to live by? This kind of reflection cuts through confusion. It brings clarity not by adding more, but by removing what doesn't fit. You don't find purpose in a single sentence. You uncover it piece by piece by returning to your truth again and again. Make your journal a place of alignment, not just for plans, but for meaning. Let it reconnect you with the deeper why behind everything you do. Number 9. Write when you fail, not just when you succeed. Most people avoid reflection when they fall short. It's uncomfortable to look at your mistakes. But Stoics knew that failure is fertile ground for growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote more honestly when he was frustrated, when he was disappointed in himself, when he didn't meet his standards. In doing so, he transformed failure into wisdom. Your journal should not just be a highlight reel. It should be a training ground, a place to examine what went wrong, what you learned, and how you will adjust moving forward. The moment you face failure directly, it loses its power over you. Write about the uncomfortable moments, or made the wrong choice, not to shame yourself, but to learn. Ask, why did I react that way? What can I do differently next time? Through this practice, your failures become your teachers, and your journal becomes the record of your evolution, not your perfection. Number 10. Build a lifelong conversation with your inner self at its core. Journaling is a relationship, not with the page, but with the self. Marcus Aurelius kept his journal as an ongoing dialogue between his outer role as emperor and his inner self as a human being seeking truth. You are living many roles: worker, parent, friend, and creator. But beneath them is your true self, the one who thinks, feels, questions, grows. That self needs space to speak. Your journal is that space. Make it a daily ritual, a private conversation where you are free to express, question, and explore. You will find that, over time, your writing becomes clearer. Your questions become deeper. Your questions become deeper. And your answers become more aligned with your values. The goal is not to write beautifully. It is to write honestly. And in doing so, you build trust with yourself. You become your guide, your witness, and your student. In a world full of distractions, the rarest full of distractions, the rarest thing is self-clarity. Marcus Aurelius found his through the quiet ritual of daily journaling, not once a month, not when he had time. Every single day, every single day. If it worked for the Emperor of Rome, it can work for you. Start today. Minutes, one thought. I have one question, one truth. Write it down. Face yourself and build a life led by wisdom, not noise. If this video helped you, share it. Subscribe for more Stoic wisdom. And remember, the most powerful wisdom conversation you will ever have are the ones you have with yourself.